I know all of you have had sellers who've come to you and they say, well, let's price the house at $400,000. And you know what's worth 360, and you do everything you can. You go do CMAs for them, you do dollars per square foot analysis, you use some of the AI programs that show you exactly what the house should be worth today, and they're pretty accurate, right? I use one called Realist, and my gosh, it gets like 98% accuracy sometimes. And you know, still, after you show them all this data, the seller still goes, no, 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 I don't want to lose money, you know. I don't care what the market's doing. I put money into this house, and what I want is my $400,000, even though you've tried to show them it's worth $360,000. This happens to us every day. And that's the reason there's so many listings sitting on the market that are priced too high, and they're sitting for too long. This is not good for your seller. This is not good for you, all right? It's not, the person with the most listings doesn't win. The person who prices it right wins. How do you price it right? How do you convince that seller to price their house at the appropriate price? Well, I'll tell you something. Here's how I do it. You know, you got to do a little deeper digging. You got to do a little deeper research. And this distinguishes the good salesperson from the elite real estate agent. If you want to be an elite real estate agent, have knowledge like this at your fingertips. Take a look at this graph right over here, all right? Now, the source on this graph was actually the National Association of Realtors. You know the association we pay all our money to, and we wonder, hey, is it worth it, right? Well, here's something that's worth it. They did this study that is telling, right? It's an example of a customer trying to sell their house for $400,000 when it's only worth $360,000. So they studied this problem, and they take a look at this going on over here. You know, if house that sells for right, it sells between 0 and 14 days, generally gets $380,000 for that $400,000 house. If it goes longer, so your enemy is time, and the higher price from the CMA or the appropriate price is going to increase your time. The bottom line is, as this house approaches 120 days, that $400,000 house generally gets sold for $344,800. It should have been priced for $360,000. So what the customer's thinking to themselves, I just ask for a higher price and accept an offer that's comfortable, right? That's what they say to you all the time. My gosh, I had agents telling their customers that, just to get the listing. The person with the most listings doesn't win. They lose. Your reputation goes down. Your time on market goes up. I start using it as against you as a competitive realtor. Why do you want to list with that? That guy's houses are selling for 3 years or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? You need to price the house right. So you need to show your customer a graph like this that shows if they do it for $400,000 and it's worth $360,000, and they end up after 120 days, they're likely to get $344,000 for it. That's the statistical fact. Had they priced the house properly in the first place, they would sold it quickly and maybe came out with $20,000 more than had they had this strategy. This strategy doesn't work. This strategy is not good for your seller. So stop recommending it and stop accepting it. Right? When this happens to me, I show them the graphs like this and say, listen, I understand why you want this, but it's not going to work out for you. You need to price the house well. You need the house to price right. And that's the price we're going to get on the market today. All right? So that is another strategy for you to follow when you get a customer who's trying to sell the house for too high. Right? Use graphs like this. Isn't that a good graph? All right. So if you want a copy of the graph, I'll put the link in the notes here for you. And as I said, if you like these kind of videos, I want you to subscribe to the channel. Follow the channel, like the channel. If you're on Facebook, like it, follow it. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, right? And you'll get notified every time we do a video. We do a lot of videos like this, but this is a good information for you to get. So subscribe to the channel right now. I'm Akos Jankira. I'm broker at Landmark, Remax Landmark, right here in DeSoto County.